Welcome to Riverside TV, sponsored by Riverside Collectibles. I'm Doug Wrench, and today we're going to be doing a review of a CMC diecast model car. It's a model of the 1936 through 1937 Auto Union Type C Grand Prix car. And it's been around for quite a while. It's their model M-034. It's been out in a couple of versions, been out in a hill climb version, it's been out in a numbered version, but the plain unnumbered car has always been available for quite a number of years now, and it's just a great model. And I know in our company, we sell, of all the CMC models, we sell more of this model than any other. And I think really the reason for that is, other than the tremendous quality that CMC does with it, is that the mystique that surrounds the auto unions. They made so few of them, half to three-quarter of them were lost behind the Iron Curtain for years before they were found and restored. And they're just priceless cars that you don't really ever get to see them in person. And if you're not that familiar with one and you'd like to really see one, it's difficult. And the model is, boy, you can take a look at this, and this is so close to the real thing, except in 1/18 scale. It's just absolutely tremendous. Now, we start taking a look at some of the finer points of this. You'll see we got the front hood off, or bonnet, and you can see all the water lines from the radiator. It's got a gold or copper colored radiator, and as you look up top here, you can see it's even got that's obviously a water line for a gauge in the cockpit, and it's even wrapped in a spring, to around a hard line like it would have been on the actual car. That's absolutely fantastic. That's a great detail. If we look at the front suspension, you can see that we've got great big huge drum brakes with nicely fabricated sheet metal scoops. And as I'll move over to the other side, we can look at this. You can see that Dr. Ferdinand Porsche really had a lot to do with the design of this car, because it's very reminiscent of a Volkswagen or a Porsche with its torsion bar front suspension. The shocks are what they call friction shocks, which is a bunch of, basically almost like a clutch, where you have steel plates with leather in between them, and to get the shock dampening adjusted, you just tighten them down, and so they rub harder together. And surprisingly enough, they work pretty good, and they were used with that, throughout the 20s and 30s on all forms of racing cars. Passe de resistance on all CMC cars is always the wire wheels with the spun aluminum rims and hubs, the knockoff nuts, and the stainless steel spokes. The tire details, absolutely spectacular. If we move around to the cockpit and take a look in here, you'll see a fabric-colored seat with the same kind of fabric that the Auto Union factory would use. Looks absolutely great. That tachometer there with the yellow and red line out looks spectacular. I mean, it really does. That's all the detail is in there. Now, as we move back, you'll see the fuel tank right behind the driver, and then we'll see this magnificent engine. CMC made this as a model, just the engine by itself, which sold out very quickly. I know there's still great demand, and people wish that CMC would reintroduce this, but that was a great model, just the engine alone in a case. But this is the 6-liter V16 supercharged Auto Union engine, which the details great, the finishes are great, the materials used are just very, very good. This car at 5,000 RPM would do close to 180 miles an hour. So just a very, very powerful engine. Nicely done scoops on the back. And you see that little shaft coming out the back. That's for a starter that they put on the back of this thing to be able to carry an onboard starter. So that's the way they would start the engine. And we'll look around the other side. Just a really, really nice model. Bernd Rosemeyer was European champion in 1936 with this car. They absolutely thrashed the Mercedes team and won the world championship. And this is just a excellent representation of that, and really highlights all the great things that CMC does with their models. Again, it's model M034. It is available, and just thought we'd take another look at it, even though has been out for a while. Thanks for looking, and we'll see you again next time on Riverside TV. This is Doug Wrench, and we'll talk to you next time.